podcast.
The last.
Again, this
the
is,
last.
the
last again.
Yeah, the last. This is the last of the first, or the first of the last.
So we're going to go live in a couple of seconds over here with you guys. Thank you so much for your patience today. As always, getting everything situated. We like to put Instagram Live on the podcast first so that we can make sure.
Look for the any of the notes that we put on there.
Here we are. You know what I'm realizing with the streaming is it is a little behind the podcast first. You know, it's a little behind. So. Right. Welcome to the Intro to Crypto, live with you every Friday night. Michael Cristoforo, David Lamel here. Thank you so much for joining us. We're excited to have you be part of your lives. So many things are happening. So much is happening.
Dave's turned into quite the believer.
I'm the believer.
Dave is the believer.
It's more than believing.
Convicted. He's convicted.
It's more than believing. It's physically seeing and understanding and learning and listening and learning. The more you listen, the more you learn.
I tell the guy today who's he's been in with XRP, especially before us. I think he was in the 19s, and we were talking, and he said, you know more than I do. And I said, it's like a college education. Literally, we are sitting here just consuming video after video after video and reading and doing so much. I mean, we're passionate about it.
Do you know, and it's funny you just said that I spoke to, it's funny, they're a younger couple I sat down with today, and I won't mention their names. And I said, are you involved in crypto? And you know what they said to me? No, I don't understand it and never got involved in it. But I have a buddy of mine who's been talking about it for a while. So I started talking about our podcast that we do. It's called The Intro to Crypto. Welcome to The Intro to Crypto. So we're talking about the Intro to Crypto. And for them to kind of understand what it is and talk a little about XRP. I said, by the way, remember from the beginning, this is not financial advice. This is your friends, David and Mike, realtor and mortgage broker, looking to help make you have the ability to have a better future, a better life, and a better opportunity than you've ever had before in your life. Daniel Lamel, thank you so much for joining us on the Instagram page over here live. It is something for people out there to have something that they never had before, them to have a chance to learn and listen and say, okay, you know what? I heard from my friends before. So sitting down with this young couple, and we talked about crypto a little bit, and the wife was very intrigued. She was very intrigued, and I gave her some podcasts we listened to and gave her some bits and pieces of it. And I was excited for them to be excited about it because they'd heard about it before, but didn't have a chance to really sink their teeth into it.
Wife more than the husband?
Yeah, it was the wife. The husband was very interested, but you could see the expression on her face. He was thinking about it and kind of processing where she was very excited. And he was excited too. But it was very interesting to see the dynamics of a young couple who didn't get involved in it yet. But the point is, this whole thing is philanthropic for us. This whole thing is for you out there who listens and watches week by week to have a chance to learn.
For all the 5-year-olds, what is philanthropic mean? No, I'm just teasing.
It's really for all of you guys.
That's our audience, 5-year-olds, right. By the way, everybody.
So, no, but for you guys to have a chance to listen and understand and learn and build something for yourself. I say it all the time. Maybe it's buying your first car. Maybe it's buying your first house. Maybe it's putting your child through college. Maybe it's a situation where your life is actually going to change and your generational income going to be available for you based on what you invest. And each person's ability to invest is different. 100%. What you can invest is different than what someone else can invest. You do the best you can in investing. And I can only say, in my opinion, my promise to you is that you'll be in a better place by doing for yourself something that you haven't done before, by investing in the digital assets, specifically the blue chip ones we talk about that are going to do well for you, that actually have utility. That's important I talk about today. Utility and what their function is and how they bring value to you and the world that we live in. So we had huge news happen today. The Genius Act was signed by President Trump today, changing the world we live in opening the floodgates forever. The gates have been opened in a way that it is so important to understand. First of all, Mike, do me a favor. The word Genius Act, I was asking Mike, how did they come up with the name Genius Act? So Mike did a little research over here.
It's always in an acronym. It's government, so it's always in an acronym. But basically, it stands for Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins.
Which I thought that was pretty neat. I never heard the word genius and never knew that had anything to do with stablecoins. So that's pretty genius, playing on words, of the Genius Act to be named the Genius Act.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to go into a little definition conversation for a little bit first, and then we're going to go into the conversation part. What is the Genius Act? A landmark piece of U.S. legislation designed to regulate digital assets, blockchain networks, and tokenized finance, officially defining digital assets as a new asset class officially today, clarifying roles of the SEC, the CFTC, also known as the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and Treasury, offering a compliant pathway for crypto companies to operate legally within the United States.
You know what I heard that was very interesting? They said, now with that being passed, try to look for blockchains that have stable coins already approved on them. So there's a handful of them. You're going to have to do your own research on it. Some of them are the ones that I don't even follow. I will tell you Ripple uses, which is the one that uses XRP, they have their own RL US dollar. So that will clearly be one of the big winners. But they were just talking because Ripple is using a stable coin that has already been fully vetted and approved in New York and around the country.
Why this changes the game. So important to know. It encouraged institutional investors, banks, ETFs, pension funds to enter the space. Startups and innovators now have rules to build under without relocating overseas, bringing everything back to the USA. Very important for our country, the business coming back to the United States. The US can now compete globally with jurisdictions like the EU, the UAE, and Singapore. You know, Japan is all in on XRP.
Yep.
Their whole
Asia.
Country, you just said Asia, I was going to say
Yeah.
Asia is all in on XRP. The amount of flowing financial institutions coming into the XRP ledger is not even begun yet.
Yeah, we're very early, very, very early.
We saw the last couple of days Ripple XRP bounce around, breaking into records. I mean, I think the highest ever was 380, and we got to 364, 365.
Yes.
And then of course, right, what happens? Remember, as things go up, people start to sell off their digital assets like XRP. They take their, I'll call it wins, and then it drops down, and that's why you see that happening. So understand, when you see it go up, there are certain people that are not in it for the long haul. They're going to sell because that's their price point that they're good with, and they made their few dollars, and they are out, and that's why it comes down. But we can tell you this one thing, and I'm going to get back into this at the end of the program, how important it is for you to ride this out. Don't be somebody who's going to take the profits right now. The profit is not profit yet. The profit is coming. No pun intended. The profit is coming.
I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that.
Holy smokes, we just kind of came up with that ourselves.
Yeah.
What it means to American economy, sparking tech jobs creations, and brings blockchain. We're going to have a huge job situation changing over here. Development back to the U.S. soil enables tokenization of real-world assets, real estate, stocks, bonds, to go to the mainstream.
You know, I was talking to Dave earlier about this, and I said, you know, I was listening to someone talking about why this is so important for America, and I was like, oh, that's genius, so to speak. what it was
We should have shots in front of us, like
Yeah.
bourbon. And every time we see the jeans, you take a shot.
forget it. One shot, I'm done. No, but what I was going to say is, in America, we need people to buy our bonds,
Yes, we do.
and China's buying less of them. You have a lot of countries that are buying less and less of our bonds, and
That's right.
so it's actually creating a new avenue for new purchases of our bonds, purchasers. So now every American, not even American, anybody around the world that is going to buy a cryptocurrency, change it over into a stable coin, that stable coin has to be backed dollar for dollar with a treasury. So as this whole thing grows, it's going to be funding and helping our government at the same time, which is awesome.
I want to just a quick shout out to my aunt Seema, who's watching over here. Just joined us on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining us, Seema. Hopefully, you're going to learn a little bit over here about the crypto industry, the intro to crypto, and what has happened today with the Genius Act. Michael, that was awesome, by the way. Good point. It opens a door for programmable money, faster payments, decentralized finance within legal bounds. All right. So, I mean, we're talking about what happened today, the Genius Act. It was signed. It's opened the doors, the floodgates of the economy here in the United States. It is something that is going to help our financial system. It's also going to change our debt. And that's going to be another player that's going to come into action over here. Would you agree?
Yeah.
The financial debt situation is going to change the whole landscape of this country. What's going to happen to you if you begin to invest or have invested? It's going to change your life, literally, emotionally, and financially. It's just the beginning. You're not late. The party has just begun. The party begins now, and it will continue to go for the rest of our lives.
I don't argue with you on any of that. And, some people that say it's too expensive right now. XRP hit $3.50.
Right.
It's too expensive. Well, if it goes to $50 or $100 or $500 or $1,000,
which it will,
which we expect it will, it might not be in, I don't know if it'll be in my life, but it will certainly be in my kids' lives when it gets that high. But my point to the whole thing is it's going to continue to grow. But keep in mind, like we've mentioned the past couple of weeks, was if you feel like you're not going to get a big enough bag to really make a difference in your life, there are still
great coins out there
that are still cheap.
Let's talk to you about a couple more we've been mentioning before, just to keep them going. XLM,
Algorand,
XDC,
Algorand, HBAR, and those are all well under $1.
We're talking about anywhere between 8 cents and 50 cents.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Some great coins to pick up. But if you can pick up, again, XRP at $3.50 a share, and you buy as much as you can.
Yeah, it's the leader. As far as we're concerned, it is the lead horse.
For the record, last time we talked about XRP hitting $3. I said 325 by, was it Monday? I said I hit it on the nail. It was 326. Right. I see XRP by next week, and then next week at $4.
That's an all-time high because it's never gone over 380. Now, you know something? Now, let's just back up for a second just to give you an idea how early we are in this market. They hit $3.80 in 2017. We have not hit that high since we have not exceeded that. And yet, look what's going on.
But here's the difference, though. That was an emotional thing going on, not a functional thing going on. And today, it's a utility functional future.
But we haven't even hit it. But that's what I'm saying. So we haven't gotten the ETFs yet,
which are beginning.
They haven't been approved yet. The spot ETFs have not come through yet. So you're gonna have tons and tons of money coming through on that.
Millions and billions.
Millions and billions. You're gonna have on top of that, they bought Hidden Road. Hidden Road is a huge $1.25 billion trading company.
Yes.
On top of that, they bought Mataco out of Europe, which is a custody firm for digital assets. That's a huge institutional custody company. All these things, say nothing about all the banking relationships that have been set up over the last 7 or 8 years. None of that is showing up in the price of XRP really yet. We're still below the all-time high from 2017. Remember that. And it's not just XRP, it's a lot of these other tokens that are all need to do it. But
there's so much happening over here, and we're going to talk a little more about this stuff here. So the impact on crypto investors and traders, major cryptos like XRP, ETH, also known as ETH, HBAR, XLM, Bitcoin will likely rally due to clarity. So these are the things that are going to happen right now. Just wait for it, be a part of the ride, and hopefully getting involved. Again, not financial advice, but your friends making strong suggestions to you about your future.
And I just want to add, I think it was, I was mentioning to you that in 1992, they passed a lot of regulations regarding the internet. And it took 3 years before it really was adopted and took off based on those regulations. So it was 3 years before. Let's pretend.
You're jumping right back into the end of my stuff.
Oh, I didn't even know you put it in there. I didn't know you put it in there, brother.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry about that.
No, because I want to lead into that. This is
Okay.
what you're talking about is the adoption of things that can't. It's so important to understand the history repeating itself in a way that is going to be reflective of what's happening right now. You're absolutely right, Mike.
My fault. We didn't.
No, you're good. You're
we
good.
didn't prep. We didn't prep.
I was going to surprise you with my research and all the information here. Jamie, thank you so much for joining also on Instagram. So going back to, again, impact on crypto investors and traders. So major cryptos like XRP, Ethereum, HBAR, XLM, Bitcoin are likely going to rally due to clarity. Low cap compliant coins may now be eligible for exchange listings and ETFs. Okay. What comes next? Good question. A rollout period between 6 and 12 months to implement enforcement and frameworks. Expect new crypto banking charters and licenses. The banking industry is changing before your eyes. You'll be walking into a bank and they'll be asking you to buy their crypto at TD Bank.
It's a possibility.
Bank of America.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's going to be wild.
Or they're going to at least want to take custody of what you have.
Or that's right. Or hold on to it for you.
Yeah.
Real estate tokenization. CBDC pilots in mainstream adoption to accelerate. We need acceleration in the real estate market, don't we? Watch for state-level adoption and financial institutions launching Web3 services. 4-year cycles. Okay, so this is where we kind of get into what's happening.
Yeah.
In the history of crypto, there's always been this 4-year cycle of things going up and then things going down, things going up and things going down. And a lot of the crypto has to do with things that are happening within the crypto industry and the tokens that what they're using and what their functions are.
But it was also because of Bitcoin. Bitcoin has had that cycle, 3 cycles of that. It's been 12 years.
And exactly, it parallel to Bitcoin, which is the godfather. And again, I was talking today with these people, my young clients, your sweethearts, and I said, crypto, they said Bitcoin. Boom. You say crypto, Bitcoin. It's like saying boxing, Tyson, right?
Yeah.
Like, so what's going to happen now, and this is going to reflect back. So Michael, you just mentioned about like the invention of internet, Amazon, Google, when these things all came out, no one believed in it. No one saw that as to be the future of what it was. It was laughed at. Yeah. To know you could buy stuff on the internet, to know that you can go on Google and ask questions about anything. Who out there thought that was going to happen? I didn't think so. It was almost like, these crazy people are going to, make these kind of things happen, right? And then voila, it happens, right? And then what happens when it happens, companies pour investments into them.
Yeah.
And look at the stock of Amazon and Google and all these other companies that came out, right? In the beginning, it was that the stock was very volatile.
$6.
Very volatile.
Yep.
So what we've had happen in the crypto industry over the last 10 years, let's just say, has been very volatile because of things that haven't come to fruition yet. And now, with America at the table to be the crypto capital of the world, and what President Trump wants to do in this country and what to do with crypto technology, crypto digital assets, he just blew the roof off. The gates are open and the world is changing right before your eyes. So people continue to think there's a 4-year cycle. It would be highly encouraged for you to look at the history of the internet cycles on Google, Amazon, and the idea of the internet. Everybody thought it was a scam. They thought it was a scam, right? The returns were very much like XRP, going up a few 100%, going down a few 100%, acting in a wild way because it was very, very retail driven. The belief that the internet was going to be a scam was the most highest. I mean, no one thought it was going to happen. Once we got rules and regulations on the internet, things changed. Google and Amazon went mainstream, and Apple went bananas in the market. But Apple, remember Apple? Apple coming out with the first computers, the phones, the whole thing. No one thought that was going to be a thing. It was not going to be a thing, Apple. And then the Apple phone came out. Do you remember the first time the phone came out and you could text somebody? I mean, I remember the text the first time.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't even remember what year that was.
I'd have to say it was after I graduated college, which was 97, somewhere in the ballpark of 97 to 2000. And then you could take a picture with your phone. I remember because when our son Daniel was born, we were taking pictures with a flip phone, very grainy pictures, right? I mean, all these things.
I think that was 2008.
It was about 2000 before that. It's 2003, 2004, maybe 2003 to 2005, some of that ballpark.
Okay.
You could be close though. But yeah, I mean, look at how things have changed, right? Nobody thought we could take pictures with a phone. The world is changing.
Say nothing about all your maps on your phone nowadays and everything. It's crazy.
You said maps. How we got into real estate in 2005? I was using maps to find where I was going. You had to learn how to read a map.
Yeah. Remember pulling over and asking somebody at a gas station how to find this road or that road?
And the biggest joke with that was that men didn't look to pull over to ask questions because he felt too macho to do so, right?
Yep.
And you'd get in a fight with your wife because she would say, just pull over and ask somebody, right?
You're dating yourself.
I'm definitely
you
dating myself.
Definitely dating yourself.
But everybody's watching who's over the age of 35 or 40, I would say, that knows that. Maybe 40, maybe a little about 40 ballpark. Maybe, yeah?
Maybe.
Okay. People who don't realize what's happening will go and sell their coins. We are nearly close to this happening for XRP. A huge spike and then a small dip as people will sell. This must be the top, people are going to think. So people are going to think, oh my God, he got it to 380. It's never going to happen again. Never, and they're going to sell their coins. Not a good idea. If you can hold out, it'll be worth it. The new ETFs and institutions stepping into the market is going to create a parabolic shift in XRP. We're going to see hundreds of millions continue to invest in XRP. There are millions of people who have not even invested in the market yet. There is so much capital sitting on the sidelines that needs to be invested into cryptocurrency.
They were waiting for this regulations. This is one part of what they were waiting for.
That's right. A lot of people still like to buy their stocks, and they feel more comfortable buying stocks in the stock market because it's regulated, and it has been for years. That's a great thing, and we are looking forward to that spot ETF to come out. Can you tell everybody what a spot ETF is a little bit?
A spot ETF is an ETF where they actually have to own the actual asset. So if you're doing an ETF for XRP, they have to own XRP. If you're doing a spot ETF for Bitcoin, they have to actually own the actual Bitcoin. So that's spot. So spot is the big word we're looking for because that means there's going to be tons of volume coming in, and that's what we're waiting for. There are some ETFs right now.
I was just going to say, and I didn't realize that there are some XRP ETFs right now.
Yep.
That run kind of parallel with it, but they're not what you think it is.
They don't create the volume of XRP purchases. That's the piece that you're sort of missing. They almost just mimic what the price is, or even a 2x price where it will be twice whatever XRP moves. There's one that's out there, XXRP, that will be double ETF, but they don't actually own the XRP.
It's like getting into the Minnie Mouse of the Big Mouse, kind of, sort of.
I would say it's more just like a Xerox of whatever the XRP price is. They're just mimicking the price at double or whatever, but they're not creating the volume that's coming.
You know, my aunt over there is watching, and I introduced XRP to my cousin, and I'm wondering, and she got involved a little bit, the last year, and I'm wondering if she's been buying, or she held off, or forgot about it, or all of us have that thing where we don't have enough money to buy it. You know what? I guarantee you, if you're watching, you spend more money on crap that has no value to it every week. And that could be.
You're not talking your aunt, you're just talking in general.
No,
right?
No. I'm talking about myself and everybody out there is watching. I'm not my cousin. I'm talking about everybody out there watching. Because what happens is you go out and you might buy your Starbucks coffee a couple times a week, or those. I was with these people. I went to Starbucks and I got myself one of those. It's like a boba tea or some kind of a fruit thing, whatever it is. I couldn't believe it's so expensive. These $7 for a drink, which is insane. If you did it once in a while, no big deal. But if you're a person who's doing this all the time, the amount of money you could be investing in your future is mind-boggling. We are in a position where this is not even started yet. It will be years in the making for people all over the world to be in the crypto market. Inflows like we've never seen before. This will be long-term flows, ETF financial advisors, stable coins, bonds, derivatives, all of this coming to the cryptocurrency market. We now have cryptocurrency legislation and institutional adoption. Multi-billion-dollar companies and industries feel like cryptocurrency is finally legit because the United States government is regulating it, and now they want in it. And that's just the beginning of what's going to happen. Institutional adoption is happening. If you're selling your XRP, you're leaving a lot of appreciation on the table. Don't be one of the people that says, I wish I held on to my XRP. I'm talking to you. The ones who are thinking about selling it when it goes up a little bit.
That was a conversation I had with a guy today. He had a bag for a while, very happy. It's going up nicely, and I said, "Don't you dare sell it.
Right.
This is not the time to sell it with all this good news that is still to come. Don't you dare."
Still to come. It's like we're at the gate, we're at the race.
Yeah.
And the gun went off. Right. This is going to be a marathon. It's going to be the most exciting marathon of our lives. How long is a marathon? How many miles is that?
26.
26 miles. If we take a marathon and think of 26, and let's call it over the next 5 to 10 years, what's going to develop?
We're at mile 1 right now.
We're not even at mile 1 yet. The gun just went off.
The Genius Act just went off.
The Genius Act, right? The Genius Act just went off, and the race has just begun. And now all the racers who are in the race are getting excited. They were stretching out. The gun went off, and now they're starting to trot. They're getting into that position of going. What's going to happen? What's going to happen is going to shock people when central banks and large governments and very large institutions have adopted this. It's going to be It's going to be staring you right in the face. You're going to be listening to CNBC, MSNBC, Fox Business about every major company using XRP, throwing hundreds of millions of dollars.
We're seeing that already. My 82-year-old mother and I were talking last night, and she said, Mike, I'm seeing XRP all over the place. So even my 82-year-old mother, her reticular activator is going off, and she's telling me about all the time. She's hearing about XRP.
What's even, you know what I've got to put in over here? The chat thing. Gosh dang it.
Yeah, I saw that. It wasn't there. Too late. It's already been almost 30 minutes.
Let's just see if there's any chats over here. Please forgive me. My apologies. So this morning and yesterday morning, I told you what my wife did to me. She got up and she said to me, how's XRP doing? And I looked at her, I was like, what?
Are you my wife?
Are you my wife? Because I've been talking about this, and she's like, all you do is talk about XRP. All you talk about, because I'm like bored of it all the time. She's like, I don't want to hear about it. I'm like, okay. So she gets up, she says to me, how's XRP doing? And I looked at her, I was in shock. I was like, that actually went up. It's doing really well. I go, what made you ask that question? She goes, it's all over my Instagram feed. She said, this guy opens up his bank account and is like, like that, like, you know, that kind of shock thing.
Yeah.
There's so much out there on social media. It's very exciting. People are getting excited because it's really beginning to happen. It's people who've been waiting for the last 5 and 10 years, who've been 3 years, 4 years, 2 years, who've been getting into it, right? Because we're on this roller coaster in life. And that roller coaster of life has its ups and downs, its highs and lows. And that's in our relationships, that's in our business lives, that's in our personal lives, that's in other people's lives, people you know. One of the things we try to learn in real estate, especially, is trying to stay on the level and not get too high or too low, and try to keep your emotions straight. And listen, you know I'm an emotional person. I came to you the other day, I was like having this, like, you know, and you're like, just relax, just relax. We need a pep talk. We need our friends to be there for us to pep talk. Hopefully we're helping you and pep talking you. Remember this. This is not our last podcast.
Maybe.
This is the beginning of the future of our podcast, all right? We're maybe 18 weeks in, okay? It may be the 18th podcast we've done. And we're enjoying every time we come to sit down with you. We learn a lot. We do this on Mondays and Fridays. And we kind of get the ballpark where between 4:30 and 5:30. We're kind of, you know, arranged in that area. And we enjoy being a part of your lives and hearing from you, talk to us about your experiences. I just, you know, that last person I was on YouTube. We're a lot, YouTube, by the way. If you haven't been on YouTube before and you want to catch us there, it's Team Powerhouse Real Estate. That's our YouTube page. And you can find all our videos over there from real estate and podcasts and crypto. And this wonderful person thanked us for sharing this information with them, in teaching them slowly and understanding the words we're using to help them understand how to build and learn and have something for their future. And that made me so happy. We can't wait
I
to
know
hear
Dave called me crying.
I was emotionally excited because, like, you know what? It made me feel good to hear somebody say that. And if you're out there and you watch the podcast, please let us know what you think. If you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, if you're on YouTube, wherever you're watching us, LinkedIn, X, we're live. And when we hear from you that this helped you, you're learning, you like it, give us a smash, give us a like, let us know you like what you're listening to, and you're getting something from this. And if you have questions, ask us the questions. If we don't know the answer, we'll try and find out for you.
That's good.
Michael Cristoforo, David Lamel, happy Friday. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. And hope you have a great weekend. Thank you so much.
Bye.